Hello, Paul here from Luminous by Nature. Trust everyone's well and enjoying this lovely weather and themselves. I've just come on today to share a video on the essentials of getting started in the stained glass world. Just a little video showing the different tools and supplies you may need to get started. Alright, first of all you're going to need some glass. Got some old vintage glass here. You can pick up a lot of glass on Marketplace. This one's from like the 1950s. Got some newer glass here. We pick up most of our glass supplies glass from a place called Hartley and Williams in Brendale, northern suburb of Brisbane. This one you might remember from your grandma's cupboard, 1970s. It's great because you get a lot of pieces that are opaque, transparent, semi-transparent like this. This piece here I picked up today. It's a new type of glass, but it's very similar to the glass in those old doors over there that I'm going to replace the cracked panels in. So yeah, the glass, it's quite cheap if you buy it on the Marketplace, but generally for a square that size, 30 by 30, it'll be range, depending what colour and type you get, it can range from $12 to up about $60, $70 for a piece, and obviously more expensive if the bigger sheets you buy. And then to start off, you're going to need to make a template, or you can cut it freehand depending what you want to do, what you want to make. But some of our pieces we make templates for. And we just use like a manila folder, light cardboard. Like this piece here is a perfect circle for our pressed flowers and glass pieces that we do in our workshops and sell in the shops. For this as well you'll need like a Nico, or nowadays I think the young'uns call them a Sharpie, and a pair of scissors and a ruler. All those items you can just get at Officeworks. And next I will show you the cutting equipment. I will just prepare my camera for the different angle. Hello and welcome back. So here we have the cutting tools you need to cut the glass with. So you may need a ruler if you've got like straight lines. You can cut it all freehand if you like, but I find if you're looking for really straight lines, a good ruler, a metal ruler especially, is good for that. But first of all, to cut the glass, you're going to need a diamond cutter. So these range from around $15 for a cheap plastic one to about I think $120 for a good one. I can't recall any brands at the moment. This one's a nice brass handle one. I think it cost around $70. It's got a nice heavy sturdy handle, feels good to hold. And most of them will have a little barrel in there that you can put sewing machine oil in to help keep the blade lubricated when you cut the glass. You'll find it more easier and beneficial to cut the glass when you've got sewing machine oil in there. It just keeps the wheel lubricated. So yeah, they're basically used to, so I've got a piece of glass here, just an example. Just score the glass like that. Well, isn't that the best sound in the world? I could just do this all day long. So yeah, if you can see that, it's got the scores in there. The next thing we're going to use are these running pliers. So these range from I think around, for a good metal pair like this, $40 to $60. You can get cheaper ones, plastic, but they still do the same job. And they'll all have a line on the top part of the mouth or tooth, whatever you call that part of the plier. But basically you line up with the score. Well, that didn't really take much to break, but you just press down and that'll break it. And then next we have these are called grazing pliers. These range from about $20 to $30. They've just got a little tooth on one of the mouths or tooths here, a tooth on the tooth. Not sure what you call that part of the plier, but the grabbing bit, and therefore when you've got smaller scores like that, and they can just pretty much break it, and then for bits that you can't snap with the running pliers, usually the smaller scores. And of course you're going to need safety goggles when you do this, especially with this part that you can do with the grazing pliers. They've got that little tooth, and it's actually made to chip away at the glass like that as well, if it's not snapped properly on the score. And next we got our grinder. We've got this one here. This cost about $400. They range from the bigger ones like this cost from around $400 to $900. You can pick them up on Marketplace for cheaper. We happened to find one at a garage sale one day for $20, and does the job quite well. You also need to get this little grinding bit that's got a diamond pad on it as well to help grind the glass down when you cut it. This is essentially just to roughen the edges, take any sharp bits off and roughen the edges so the tape will adhere properly to the glass when we tape it with the copper foil. You notice here Shree's cut some bits and pieces here for upcoming workshops that we've got coming up. She's a machine, that lady. It's awesome. So yeah, basically another thing too, don't forget the safety goggles using this. This is another one where the glass will just fly out. Line the glass like that till you get the nice shape. Well, you know, this is rectangle. There's obviously a few little edges on there that we have to do to make it a perfect rectangle. But that's essentially the idea of that. And then we've got the taping. This is the copper foil. We get this from Hartley & Williams as well. We use a silver backed, black backed, and a copper backed. The copper has a thicker one as well, like a 10mm. I think these ones here are around 6mm. You can get them from 4mm with these two colours and the copper, but the copper also comes in like a 10mm for the thicker pieces. And this is basically used to do this. We've got some nice little bits here that Shree's done. This is some crockery, old china plates and cups that we've broken up to turn into jewellery. And you essentially just tape it like that. Each roll costs around, I think for the thinner tapes, it's generally around $26 to $30. And then, the silver's probably a bit more. And then the thicker copper tape is around $40 or so as well a roll. I think they're 25-meter rolls. And the next bit is the soldering. So once you've taped it all, you're going to want to solder it together like this. This is the panel that we've just done the other day. Still got to clean that up a bit and put a chain on it. So for the soldering, you're going to need a soldering iron. You can get them from Hartley & Williams. I think they range from around $80 to $150. We just buy a nice, it's best to use an 80 watt or 100 watt soldering iron, and we just get them from Bunnings. They've got a nice thick tip on it. That tip's a 10mm tip. That's generally the one that you use on average all the time. You can get them down to as thin as 2mm. We find that a 6mm one's pretty good, but we also sometimes use the 4mm tip for our earrings and stuff. So yeah, one like that's 80 watt from Bunnings is around $60. You need some sponge, wet sponge. You can just get that from Woolies for like $2 a packet, and that's just to clean your tips while you're soldering. some solder. We use lead-free solder for our earrings and jewellery. That's $90 for a 500 gram roll. We've got some 60-40 leaded solder here, so that's 60% tin, 40% lead. That is for most of our work, and that generally ranges around $60 a 500 gram roll. And you'll also need flux. That's about $15 for a bottle, 250 ml bottle. And you'll see I've also made this tray. We just picked up some plywood and some wooden strips from Bunnings. We've made a heap for our workshops, and I've also started using one in our workshop at home because it stops the solder rolling onto your lap or onto your feet, onto the floor, and it just protects the surface of the table as well. And while you're doing this as well, you're going to need some disposable gloves because it's not nice to get the flux on your skin, and also possibly ingest it. Also with this, you'll need a good little extraction fan. That's good to suck the fumes away, and that was about $100 from Jaycar. You can also purchase these masks as well if you feel like you need to protect yourself more from the fumes. These are P2 masks, and they filter out all the fumes, dust and carbon that go into the air with any sort of welding or grinding work. So once you've soldered your piece, I just got my ginger and turmeric tea here. Shout out to the Urban Farm at Maroochydore. Simon's a great fella. You go down there and he'll get you some nice produce. It's all organic, spray free, and he's got a fair bit of knowledge on gardening and stuff. He'll always give you some tips on how to get your garden growing a bit better without any of those nasties. Alright, onto the subject. Next bit we have, you'll want to clean it down. So after the soldering, we use this flux remover. It's a straight alcohol mix with some other chemicals, and it basically breaks the acid down in the flux, and you also use it after the patinaing. It just helps stop that corrosion or discolouring of the solder of your piece once it's done. You can also use just good old bicarb and dishwater to wash your pieces in. And then once you've, you can find these products at Woolies. This one here was, I think, $50 for a 750 ml bottle from Hartley & Williams. Good stuff. It actually gets rid of all the flux and the patina, just the acid in the patina. And it makes your colour of the solder actually come up really nice once you polish it up. Then after the washing, you're going to want to colour it, depending what colour tape you've done. If you've used silverback tape, you don't need to use these chemicals. If you've done copper backed, it's copper patina. That's around, I think, $15 a bottle. If you've done black backed, there's black patina. And you essentially just put these on with a makeup pad or a Q-tip or even a toothbrush onto your solder, and you'll find that it'll just colour the solder. And then once you've done that, you will clean it up again with this flux remover and give it a good old polish. Spray some glass cleaner on it. You can get that from Woolies. I think it's like $3 a bottle. And then this glass polish, that was $20 for this bottle. That was just, you just sprinkle a bit of that on, wipe it all over with your Chucks cloth, and then you finish it off with a nice old fluffy lint-free cloth. And that will, for a pack of those, was like $5 from Super Cheap. And that will make your piece all nice and shiny. Anyway, I hope that was helpful today. I just thought I'd get on. They're just the essential items that you need to get started, to have a bit of fun in the glass shop. And of course you need a bit of room as well. Yeah, so I hope everyone enjoyed this video, and I look forward to speaking to you all again. Have an awesome day. Goodbye.